dads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackie and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
That's right. The only show in America with cojones enough to put statistics next to our predictions, to put our careers and reputations on the line and pray that our bosses don't listen to this. It's Write That Down with Mackie and Judd, executive producer and batting average leader Declan. And we do this on two different shows. Every single one. The franchise last year expanded into football predictions on Purple Daily. This is the classic edition of Write That Down, where you can predict about literally anything. And here's how it works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, if you guys want to participate like Nick is about to, you can send us a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled at some point later on this summer. Boys, a lot of stuff coming off the board here with the Wild and Wolves regular seasons ending. We all made some Wild-related playoff game predictions and stuff, so there's quite a few things to go through here. And I should mention, Declan, I'll throw it to you to talk about Aquaside. It's a partner that has jumped on board with us here again at Score North. And people ask, how can I support the brand? How can I support what you guys are trying to build here at Score North? You can always help us the most by just supporting our advertising partners. And so Aquaside might be in your wheelhouse.
Hey, if you got a cabin, it's summertime, finally 90 degrees here in a couple days, and you're getting up to that cabin, you don't want weeds to overtake your lake or maybe your pond this summer, so call Aquaside, and they'll actually help you identify your weed problem, make sure your place looks great all summer long. They're a local company based in White Bear Lake, and they've been helping people maintain nice lake shores for over 60 years. They're registered with the EPA and the DNR. Again, they're in White Bear Lake. They're easy to order, and they normally ship the same day as well. Aquaside pellets are easy to use. It's a simple fan-over treatment area. They begin working. It's a very do-it-yourself topic, and you can do it, and they can give you the instructions on how to help clean out that lake shore for you. So go check them out, aquaside.com. Again, aquaside.com.
Boom.
Write this down.
All right, let's get to the accountability session here. Let's start with Judd Zulgad. All right, you had a few things come off the board here. A little bit of a mixed bag. I think in the end, you'll like your results this week. We'll start with the bad. You said Marcus Foligno will get into at least one fight in whatever. It was like game 2 or 3. I can't remember what it was. That he would be a 5-minute major or something.
Game 2.
Did not happen. I think he's more effective when he's just laying the wood like he was last night. You don't need to fight to send a message. Do what you did last night to send a message.
Yeah.
Within the parameters of the game.
Hey, yes.
You said Anthony Edwards will get at least one MVP vote next year. You might have been a year early on this one.
Oh, this is a bad beat, the next one.
You said you said Chris Finch will get at least 2 votes for NBA Coach of the Year. He got 4 third-place votes, but 0 first-place votes.
Oh, okay.
Disrespect. We should talk about that at some point. 0? There's 100 votes. And Monty Williams got like 81 first-place votes.
See, I thought the third-place vote would count, but I didn't think it had to be a first-place vote. I thought a vote at all in any sort, but I think he only got... Maybe we're wrong here. I don't know. Let's see. Let me pull up the NBA.com story here. Well, no, I get your logic too, though. I'm saying I just had thought when I made it that he would get votes, period. He got third-place votes, but... I'm trying to pull this up here. I want to do right by you. I don't want you to feel like you're... I think it's just an interpretational difference. I think it's just an interpretational difference, and I guess I understand where the committee is going with this decision. So 4 coaches got votes to be the coach of the year. Monty Williams, Monty Williams got 81. Taylor Jenkins got 17. Spoelstra and Ukoda each got 1. And that's how you interpreted it, which I'm fine with. Dex, what do you think here? So he got 4 third-place votes, but he didn't get any first or second-place votes. I think he had to get a vote for coach of the year. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think he would need to get the first place vote. Yeah, because they're not voting him coach of the year; they're voting him third place coach. Yeah, Yeah, I said, yes. Okay, fine. Phrasing. It's fine. Phrasing. Whatever it is, it should be whiteboard material for this team. It's ridiculous. He actually finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He finished 9th in coach of the year voting. Are you serious? 9th?
They outperformed their over-under by 12 wins. It's the Timberwolves. 9th? You freaking kidding me?
He should have got a couple first-place votes.
Behind Nick Nurse, Jason Kidd, Ty Lue. I mean, okay, I guess you lost Kawhi, whatever. Right. Now, do I think Ty Lue's a better coach than Chris Finch? Yes. So,
and he coaches the Clippers, and a lot more people see him.
Anyhow, you did say Kirill Kaprizov would score at least one goal in Game 2. Mm-hmm. And this is a nice one here. You said Eriksson Ek will score the first playoff goal for the Wild. It didn't happen until Game 2. But it happened. And it's a home run for Judd Zulgad. Yeah. Circle those bases, dude.
Yeah. Great stuff, Judd.
Nice job.
That's a shot, too.
All right, a couple incorrect predictions from old Macadac here. This first one is ridiculous. Sorry, it was a wild parlay. I said they would win Game 2, that Kaprizov would tally at least 2 points, and Fiala would score at least a goal.
Fiala?
And all of those things were lined up, and then they took Fiala's goal, incorrectly, I might add, off the board and gave it to Kaprizov. How do you watch that play in front of the net and think that Fiala didn't poke that puck in? It's ridiculous.
I explained the goaltender poked the puck, and I think Fiala hit the puck when it was over the goal line, which means it's the Kaprizov's goal.
I don't know.
Huso poked the puck initially.
It's ridiculous. So that should have been a home run, but here we are. It's the nature of the beast. JB Bickerstaff will win Coach of the Year. Chris Finch will be top 3 in voting. Bickerstaff finished 5th in Coach of the Year. Did not get a first place vote, even though he coached that Cleveland team out. They kind of faded down the stretch, though. That was kind of the problem.
They absolutely did.
All right, listeners, X-Twins News said the Wild will start off 0-2 in the playoffs in the first round. Well, it was tied at 1, so this parlay went out the window. And they'd rattle off 6 straight wins. Chris Finch will finish, this is from Joe, Chris Finch will finish top 3 in Coach of the Year. And Ben said, no team with a first-year head coach, so Jags, Giants, Texans, Saints, Vikings, will select a quarterback in the first round of the 2022 draft. Well, only the Steelers did, so
good work, Ben.
There you have it.
That's good.
Nice job. And then Declan, nice little week for Declan. Now, you did say the Wild would win the Central Division, so we had to take that off the board. However, you said the Wild would win by 2 goals or more in Game 2, which is kind of a parlay, that they would win, and they would win by a lot. And so that is a home run. Unless Judd disagrees. I think that's a home run.
No, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. And then you said the Wild would score a power play goal before the Blues score a power play goal, starting with Game 2. I think they scored 2 power play goals right off the bat there.
Right off the bat.
So a nice week for Declan, who leads with a .466 batting average and 9 home runs already on the season. Just a great start to the season for Declan. Judd also off to a good start, .418 with 4 home runs. Listeners, .345 with 8 home runs, off to a scorching start. I'm kind of meh, but .323 with 4 home runs. We've definitely seen worse in last place
good race
than that before. All-time, Judd still leads with 223 all-time hits. Listeners lead with 27 all-time home runs. Declan is closing in on me and Judd with 17 home runs to our 19 all-time. All right, let's bring guest listener predictor Nick into the show here. You're still supporting. You got your Kirill shirt on. You haven't given up hope yet.
Unlike Judd, I'm still with it.
I'm down, Nick.
I'm with it.
Sports Dad's down. Very down on this team.
Judd's riding this roller coaster a little bit. Nick is more meditative in his approach as a fan, it sounds like.
It was a tough night last night after the loss, but woke up, new mindset, ready to go.
Love it. Love the maturity here. Love the maturity of
I wish I was as mature as Nick.
I've only been through 21 sad years of sports, so I got more to go.
Oh, God, you've got a lot of heartbreak coming up.
Fresh-faced and ready for more heartbreak is what's happening here. So, all right, what's your strategy here, Nick? Are you looking for long balls? Are you looking for hits? What's your game plan?
Try to get the listeners' batting average up. I got a couple solid doubles, I think, and I got a Vikings home run, hopefully, here.
Love it. All right, so we're going to start with Nick.
Write this down.
Go to Judd, over to Declan, and then back to me. 3 trips around the room. Nick, why don't you lead us off?
All right, write that down. Keeping up with my positivity for the Wild here, I got Wild in 7 versus the St. Louis Blues.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Okay.
Nick and the Whisperer, maybe.
Write this down.
Seeing the same thing.
The Whisperer threatening to quit, retire.
Not threatening.
Very disturbing.
Promising.
Oh boy. So Nick is hopeful. optimistic. And I feel like Nick's youthful pizzazz is being passed on to Sports Dad. So I just upped the ante. I just upped the ante on my first write that down from what would have been like a nice little hit to what will be a home run if it comes true. Kirill Kaprizov will score at least one goal in Game 6, and that's where this ended until Nick came on. But he also will score at least one goal in Game 7.
Oh,
so he will score a goal in Game
dude.
6 and Game 7 against the Blues.
Wow.
I am taking a page from optimistic Nick and seeing if it can influence me, and I appreciate that.
Optimistic Nick.
Write this down.
Trendsetter. All right, Dex.
All right, my first wild prediction as well. I'm going to put this in writing. Write this down. Cam Talbot starts Game 6 for the Wild. So Cam Talbot will start Game 6 for the Wild. Write that down.
If that happens and they win, then he starts Game 7 too, unless they win 7-5 or something.
No, if he starts and they win, he starts Game 7.
He starts Game 7. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a really big decision because you're
Huge.
You're effectively moving off Fleury until Talbot gives it back, which who knows if that continues into the second round. Now that you've committed to 5 games of Fleury, it's a big move.
Write this down.
We'll see. All right, Hockey Whisperer is going to go on the record here with his Hockey Whisperer guarantee. If the Wild don't win Game 6, and this isn't really the prediction is the Wild will win Game 6. Write it down, the Wild will win Game 6.
Okay.
And if they don't win Game 6, the Hockey Whisperer will retire from observations and predictions. His career is no longer worthy if he is not correct in the vision that he is seeing here. All right, this was always meant to be a roller coaster series. It was never going to be a smooth sailing ride into a 6-game win for the Wild. Yeah. You could even argue if the Wild were going to win the series, it was almost certainly going to go 7 games anyways, just based on the flow of things. And so last night felt terrible. I get it, but the Hockey Whisperer sees a Game 7. No promises beyond that, but he sees a Game 7 at the XL Energy Center.
So just so I'm sure here. So
the Wild will win
really
Game
making
6.
Sure. That's it. That's the prediction.
Yeah.
Okay, the Wild win Game
Period.
6. Okay,
and then if that doesn't happen, then end of prediction. And then if that doesn't happen, the Hockey Whisperer will retire from observations and predictions.
So it's actually two-pronged though, because if they lose and the Whisperer pops back up from the grave, raises up from the coffin.
No, that's off the record.
Okay,
that's not part of the prediction.
You kind of made it sound like it was on the record.
You did.
And that's why that's why I was asking now. Judd's saying the same thing. So I think you were being a little confusing. Just being a little confusing.
Okay, the prediction, just to be clear, is the Wild will win Game 6. End of prediction.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And then off the record, if they don't win Game 6, the Hockey Whisperer will retire from observations and predictions.
Thank you, Judd. Appreciate it.
Write this down.
No problem, sports son.
Okay, back to Nick.
Alrighty. I've been waiting for Royce Lewis to make his appearance in the big leagues, and I've been enjoying watching him play at Carlos Correa's expense. But write this down. By next week's, write that down, Royce Lewis will hit his first big league home run.
Yeah. He's got that smooth swing. I like it. Now, he looked a little rough last night, like most players will, against Justin Verlander. But, come in, he had 3 hits and 10 at-bats, a little infield single for one of them. I like it.
Write this down.
It's amazing what takes place when you play good teams, huh? Write this down. Marc-Andre Fleury will start Game 6.
Okay.
Marc-Andre Fleury will start Game 6. And that is, again, not because I am dead set on that. I believe that Dino won't switch goaltenders.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love the.
I just don't want the fan base to
clashing
think I'm
predictions
like,
on Judd's hockey.
There's a lot of clashing. Going on.
Write this down.
Great. All right, Declan.
You know what? And Mac, I need you to take your headphones off, if you don't mind. I'll wave you back on when it's time.
Back to back.
All right, so he's covering. All right, Judd, and even Nick here because he's part of the prediction.
Include Nick.
Write this down. Mackey will rebrand the Hockey Whisperer into something else between now and the end of the year. So he might retire the Hockey Whisperer term, but he will rebrand it as a new name or as a new thing.
The end of the year being
and come back on the show. Yes, end date of 2022.
I love it and I agree with it.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that that's clear. And this could come off by next week, right? Like, because if he comes as a Hockey Whisperer,
but if he brings it back like in training or like as
a different
starts,
name or a different
in 2022, 23, it counts.
I want the point. I'll put it as Mackie check with me by next week. But yeah, okay,
Love it.
All right, Phil, you can come back in. Come back in, Phil. Come back in, Phil. Come back in, Phil. Come back in. You're good.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. Huh? I didn't hear the prediction, but I'm looking forward to paying that one off. All right, write this down. Second prediction.
Write this down.
Okay.
And you will.
Kevin Fiala will score at least 2 goals in Game 6.
Oh.
Kevin Fiala will break out. He will join the party as part of this wild victory that's off the record for this prediction. But Kevin Fiala will score at least 2 goals in Game 6. And then you'll feel great about Game 7 because now Fiala and Kaprizov have both joined the party, going back home. So there you have it. Declan's guy, validation in Game 6.
I'd love it.
That's a home run prediction, I would assume.
Yeah, it is.
2
Definitely.
goals? Yeah, no question.
2 goals, absolutely.
All right, back to Nick, your third and final prediction.
Alrighty, I believe this should be a home run. It's a Vikings parlay for the 22-23 season. So for the 22-23 season, the Vikings will finish above 500. They will win at least 4 divisional games. Off the record, they probably lose to the Packers and maybe the Lions in a Dan the Man takeover game. Kirk Cousins passer rating over 100. And here's a big one. Justin Jefferson beats Randy Moss single season receiving yards record.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that's a home run.
That's a home run for sure. Yeah, so you're
Yeah, it barely gets out of the
four
park.
different things that are all very much questionable. Love it.
Wow.
Love the big swings here. All right, Nick, since you've got this platform here, this life-changing moment here for you in front of the millions or thousands or dozens of Score North listeners, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you here?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my parents for raising me in this horrendous sports state. Big shout out to you guys for having good sports content every single day. Been listening for about 2 years now.
Cool.
And then quick shout out to St. Cloud. Go Huskies.
Go Huskies, my man.
Man after
Hell
Declan's
yeah.
heart.
Good
Go
for
red
you.
carpet. Go red carpet,
Good for
right?
you.
We stay away from the red carpet.
Yeah, the kids don't go to the red carpet, Judd.
I did back
It's
in
kind
my
of
day.
the
I'm
old
gonna tell you
person
right now, I
bar,
had some good
you know.
times stumbling around there.
I mean,
It's just like the guys looking to regain their college cred from the early
Yeah.
I don't go
90s
there
that go to
now.
this bar.
I'm
or
saying
what?
in the 90s I used to go there.
well, it's got like 4 bars in it too.
Yeah,
so
it's
like it's
great.
got the Martini Lounge, it's got the Keller downstairs, it's got like the Red Room. It has like 4 bars in it. But
Yeah.
I would say MC's, Nick, as you probably know, MC's is where it was at. I love MC's. If they ever
Now-
close that place down, I'd be so sad.
For the college kids now, it's the Pickled Loon and Steel Wolf.
Yep. They opened that I think when I was a junior senior. I didn't go there a whole lot, but I've heard now more people are going there. So
Indeed.
Love it.
I love
a
it.
little
Thank you
St.
for-
Cloud
thank you for
State
indulging.
bar
Yeah,
education.
thank you for
there.
indulging
great.
with my bar education.
Awesome stuff, Nick.
Awesome,
Thanks,
man. Nick, great job,
Yep.
dude. Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Guest listener predictor, Nick.
And now let's talk about Duluth, Declan's favorite town.
Oh, man. All right. Back to Judd, your third and final prediction.
All right, my third and final prediction. Unfortunately, it's a Twins one, and it's not positive. But I think it's going to come true, so you can write this down. Kenta Maeda will make a start for the Twins before Chris Paddock makes his next start.
That's a great prediction.
Kenta
like that.
These idiots,
Maeda,
dude.
who's
What are
coming
they
off
doing?
Tommy John, and I don't know that he is going to, maybe September for Kenta? I don't know. But my point is, Paddock, I think, is going to have the second TJ of his career. I think he's going to be out until probably very late in the 2023 season, if then.
So I've gone from loving this trade at first because you don't think that they're trading for a pitcher with damaged goods, right? But what were they doing?
Well,
so he's going to. This isn't surprising.
Doogie defended it by saying that they got a pretty good prospect from the Padres as well, that they weren't going to bring Taylor back, which you know what, with that one, I don't care. Like, okay, he's not going to come back. He would have been a solid contributor in the bullpen this season.
Yeah.
So like, just keep him. Like, if you're going to get a guy who you know has a UCL problem, which they knew, like, it's not surprising. The guy took a shot in September. So I'm with you. I'm disappointed.
It's just weird.
Well,
it's the second time
and then
they've
it's
done
team
this.
control too. I love that one. Well, they've got more team control left.
Well, he'll be. They have 2 years of team control. This year's one of them, right? Am I wrong on that? It's this year and next year?
No, and I don't care. Like
he'll be rehabbing for half of next year.
Right, but we get but we've already gotten there's team control left.
Yeah, team control is great when they're rehabbing.
Well, and your arm is hanging by a thread. Like his arm is hanging by a thread.
Yeah. It's
so
weird.
This is going to be a second TJ.
The fact that I think what's frustrating is they've already done this in the year where they needed help the most on the pitching side. And their big move was Sam Dyson. Well, they brought Sergio Romo in too. He was like their sixth inning reliever.
I agree completely.
And they bring in Sam Dyson's their big move. And oh my God, he's injured. We didn't know. Right. Oh, he beats his cat. Oh, yeah, do some homework.
But they knew. But I mean, the Paddock thing was reported. It was out there for everyone to see. I am not a fan of ever trading for a pitcher with a UCL problem who didn't have the surgery.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm rehabbing it.
It's weird. Yeah, someone needs to do a compilation of, okay, it's a partially torn or a sprained UCL. I'm going to go the non-rehab route. And what's the average amount of time until you actually do need surgery? Does anyone ever pitch 8 more years without any issues? I'm sure there's some examples, but it's just ridiculous.
Write this down.
Anyhow, Declan.
All right, my final prediction. I have a Twins one as well. Write this down. The Twins will move Gio Urshela by the MLB trade deadline. So here's my logic on this one. So they have a bunch of random utility guys already, right? Like they have Arise, they have Polanco, they have Royce Lewis. They have a lot of guys that can play a lot of positions. But I think Urshela, in my opinion, is the most expendable. Now, he doesn't bring you the highest of returns of, like, if you were to trade a Royce Lewis or even trade a Louis Arise. But I think he's the most expendable of those guys and not a guy like the Twins are committed to keeping. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if they end up moving him to make way for Luis Arise to play every day, Royce Lewis to play every day. So that's my logic. So write this down. The Twins will move Gio Urshela by the MLB trade deadline.
Yeah, they definitely have. If everyone's healthy, they have kind of a weird good problem in the logjam here. But
yeah,
guys aren't healthy ever, or they're just taking maintenance days.
And also, I'm sick of his walk-up song. I'd like to stop hearing it when I go to baseball games all the time.
I saw people singing with it on Sunday.
Oh my God,
they were singing with that walk-up.
I don't want to hear hymns at baseball games. I want to hear a good walk-up song. I went on my rant like a month ago. I don't need to hear that.
Mine,
very passionate.
Personally, would be. Morning is Broken by Cat Stevens. Morning has broken.
No, I don't think anyone knows that song.
Like no one wants to hear Cat Stevens at the baseball game.
Dude, I'm joking.
I'm with that here. Yeah, no, it's
no,
about,
I'm totally joking about that. I would have something far more upbeat than that.
It's about karaoke. It's the karaoke philosophy. You are there to entertain an audience. You are not there to self-serve your weird, obscure songs. Okay, no one cares about how well you can sing.
All right. I don't disagree with you.
My third and final prediction. I just want more home runs here. I feel like my game is honed when I'm swinging for the fences. On write that down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes I get in these modes of like, I got to raise my batting average. I don't give a rip about batting average. I just want to hit bombs. So
I do both, but yeah.
Joel Embiid was awful last night in a Game 5 blowout loss. He got smacked in the face again and was writhing in pain on the ground. It was really bad. So write this down. Joel Embiid's going to bounce back with at least 30 points, a double-double, and a Sixers win in a must-win Game 6.
Okay.
You're going to see
30 points.
You're going to see the Dark Knight himself. I love that Batman mask that he's got on.
I do love that.
So Heat and Suns won last night, is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. The Suns looked excellent. Chris Paul's kind of been fading here the last 3 games like he did last year. So they're trying to drag 37-year-old Chris Paul to the
Chris Paul curse. The curse of Chris Paul.
Yep.
Stu Gatz is right.
All right, boys, there you have it.
Write this down.
Write that down. Predictions presented in part by our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. They've been around, speaking of predictions, they've been around for 100 years. They can kind of foresee risks on the horizon at this point with all their experience, and they're here to help navigate and guide your business to newer heights through risk management tools, resources. You can find out more about Federated at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours.
Write this down.
All right. On the record, there it is. You may have just consumed the final Hockey Whisperer observation.
That is so sad if that's the case.
Well, pressure's on, boys. Let's go. Let's go get one. Bring it back home to the X.
If that's the case. All right.
Bring it back home.
Okay. All right.
All right, that's a wrap. Mackie and Judd. Tomorrow, Reckless Speculation. Thursday, our friend Doogie and priming the pump for the NFL schedule release and Game 6 Judd's Hockey Show event line. See you guys.